Hello friends, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Professor S.P. Singh from Faculty of Management Studies, Gurukul Kangadi University, Haridwar. Today we are going to study Module 26 on sampling in qualitative research. After you have finished this module, you shall be able to understand the role and importance of sampling in qualitative research. Know the differences of theoretical and statistical sampling. Distinguish different forms of sampling in qualitative research and comprehend the constitution of a case in qualitative research. Sampling decisions in the research process. A researcher will face the issue of sampling at different stages in the research process. Table number 1 provides the sampling methods used at different stages. Case sampling. In an interview study, the sampling is connected to the decision about which persons will be interviewed. Sampling group of cases. The sampling is connected to the decision from which group cases should come. Material sampling. Material sampling emerges from the decision about which of the interviews should be further treated, transcribed and analyzed. Sampling within the material. During interpretation of the data, the question again arises when decision is taken which parts of a text should be selected for interpretation in general or for particular detailed interpretations. Presentational sampling. It arises when presenting the findings which cases or parts of text are best to demonstrate the findings. Determination of the sample structure. The sample of the material being studied should represent the criteria in collection and analysis of data in a way that permits the researcher to draw the inferences of the relations in the subject. The material is put together in accordance with certain criteria is the logic of statistical sampling. These criteria are quite abstract as they have been developed independent of the concrete material analyzed prior to its collection and analysis. The strategy of complete collection. In order to learn more about events and courses of patients' careers in chronic renal failure, the researchers decided to carry out an entire collection of all patients, male, married, between 30 and 50 years at the start of the treatment, of the 5 big hospitals serving the southeast of Britain. The sampling is restricted in advance by certain criteria: a specific disease, age and region, a limited time and a specific marital status characterize the relevant cases. These criteria delimited the totality of possible cases in a way that all the cases might be integrated in the study. But here as well, sampling is carried out because virtual cases which do not meet one or more of these criteria are excluded in advance. It was possible to use these techniques of sampling primarily in regional studies. The research designs applying a priori definition of the sample structure, the researcher takes sampling decisions with a view to choosing cases or groups of cases. In complete collection, the exclusion of interviews done already will be less possibly in that data collection and analysis is purported at the maintaining the integration of all cases available in the sample. Thus, while the sampling of materials is less relevant, questions about sampling in the material and sampling in presentation are similarly relevant in the method of gradual definition of the structure of sampling. Theoretical sampling. Decisions about choosing and putting simultaneously empirical material in terms of cases, groups, institutions, etc. are taken during the process of data collection and interpretation. Theoretical sampling is the process of data collection for creating theory whereby the analyst jointly gathers codes and makes an analysis of his data and decides the data to be collected in the coming stage and places to find them in order to develop his theory as it emerges. The emerging theory controls the process of data collection. The decisions concerning sampling in theoretical sampling may begin from either of two levels. They may be on the level of the groups in which comparison is to be done, and they may directly concentrate on particular individuals. In both cases, the sampling of concrete persons, groups or fields is not based on criteria and techniques often used in statistical sampling. Neither random sampling nor stratification would be applied to ensure a sample to be representative. Instead, persons, groups, and so on would be chosen in accordance with their anticipated level of new insights for the development of theory relative to the theory elaboration done so far. The purpose of the sampling decisions is to select that material which ensures greater insights in view of the material applied previously and the knowledge derived from it. The main issues for getting data are the groups or subgroups the researcher focus next in data collection. The theoretical purpose. Gradual selection as a general principle in qualitative research. The basic purpose of theoretical sampling is to choose case or case group in conformity with concrete criteria relating to their content instead of using abstract methodological criteria. Sampling advances according to the relevance of cases instead of their representativeness. Related strategies of collecting data in qualitative research are also characteristics of the principle of theoretical sampling. The extension of the sampling procedure to temporal and local settings is an advantage of the system of access. Flick observed that this idea can be taken into account while purposively integrating diverse institutions in the form of local settings and professions and by using various sorts of data. The analytic induction can be used as a method of making concrete and further developing theoretical sampling. But here attention is focused less on the question of which cases to integrate into the study in general. The concept of analytic induction begins from developing a theory at a given moment and state, and then specifically looking for and analyzing deviant cases or case groups. Whereas the purpose of theoretical sampling is primarily to enrich the theory being developed analytic induction is related to securing it by analyzing or integrating deviant cases. Thus, the basic principle of theoretical sampling is the genuine and typical form of selecting material in qualitative research. Purposive sampling and theoretical sampling. Gradual sampling is not merely the original principle of sampling in different customary approaches in qualitative research. More recent discussions describe strategies for proceeding with purposive sampling by selecting cases and empirical material. Consider it again and again. In the framework of evaluation research, random sampling in general is compared with purposive sampling. He makes some concrete suggestions. In order to study the functioning of a reform program, particularly successful examples of realizing it are chosen and analyzed. The cases of failure in the program are selected and analyzed for the reasons of this failure. Select particularly typical cases. Typical cases are those in which success and failure are particularly typical for the average or the majority of the cases. Here the field is disclosed from inside and from its center. Maximal variation in the sample. Maximal variation in the sample is achieved to integrate only a few cases, but those which are as different as possible to disclose the range of variation and differentiation in the field. Intensity. The cases may be selected according to the intensity with which the interesting features, processes, experiences and so on are given or made assumption in them. Sampling strategies in qualitative research. During the course of this discussion on sampling in qualitative research, various strategies have been identified which are listed in the table 3. Aims of sampling. While choosing one of the sampling strategies and to be successful in putting together the sample as a whole, the criteria whether sample is rich in relevant information is the determinant. Sampling decisions ever oscillate between the aims of covering as wide a field as possible and of doing possible deep analysis. Considering limited resources in terms of people, money and time, the researcher should see these aims as alternatives rather than projects to combine. The decision to deal more intensively with one type of institution and due to limited resources not to collect or analyze any further data in other institutions was the result of weighing width against depth. The former strategy seeks to represent the field in its diversity by including possible different cases to enable to present evidence on the spread of ways of seeing or experiencing certain things. The latter strategy searches to further saturate the field and its structure by concentrating on single example or definite sector of the field. Sampling decisions ever oscillate between the aims of covering as wide a field as possible and of doing possible deep analysis. Considering limited resources in terms of people, money and time, the researcher should see these aims as alternatives rather than projects to combine. Friends, in this module you have studied role and importance of sampling in qualitative research, the differences in theoretical and statistical sampling, different forms of sampling in qualitative research, and the constitution of a case in qualitative research. Thanks for visiting EPG Pathshala.